Rain hammers the cracked city pavement as Evelyn Hart pulls her tote close, shivering beneath a broken umbrella. The sky bleeds silver, buzzes hiss by, and neon reflections ripple across puddles. A sleek black sedan slows beside her, windows tinted, tires whispering against the wet asphalt. Inside sits Adrian Cole, the company's new CEO. She knows the name, not the man. He lowers his window slightly. Warm air and subtle cologne drift out. Need a ride? His voice is calm, certain. She hesitates, pride coiling tighter than fear. No, thank you. The car glides forward, but something, two faint eyes glowing in the back seat, locks her breath. A child? Her heart stutters. What could a CEO possibly be hiding in his backseat? The rain softens to mist. Evelyn watches the sedan disappear before turning toward the bus stop. But her thoughts went quiet. Those eyes in the back seat, too small, too fragile to belong in a CEO's car. She replays the moment again and again, the oxygen tube glinting like a secret she wasn't meant to see. A strange ache rises in her chest, part guilt, part fear. When her phone buzzes with a missed call from work, she ignores it. She looks down the street again. The car is gone, but its shadow lingers like a whisper of something unfinished. Morning comes gray and indifferent. Evelyn walks into her office, hair still damp, eyes tracing the floor. Conversations stop when she enters. Whispers follow. The CEO is on site today, they say. She feels her pulse tighten. As she passes the glass wall of the executive suite, she glimpses him. Adrian Cole, on a call, expression unreadable. Their eyes meet briefly. He offers the faintest nod. Her stomach flips. What could he possibly want with someone like her? At lunch, the rain returns. Evelyn sits by the window of a small cafe, hands cupping warm coffee. Across the street, the same black sedan idles again. Her breath catches. The passenger window lowers just enough for her to see him. Adrian raises his hand slightly. Not a command, not arrogance, just a silent offer. Something in her softens. Against reason, she stands. Evelyn steps into the rain. The city noise fades behind her. She opens the car door, heartbeat loud in her ears. The scent of leather and faint antiseptic fills her lungs. And there, asleep in the back seat, is the child again. Oxygen tube still in place, small chest rising gently. Evelyn swallows hard. The CEO's eyes meet hers in the mirror. Neither speaks. For the first time, she senses the truth. This man isn't offering her a ride. He's inviting her into a story far heavier than she imagined. The car hums through slick streets, raindrops sliding like silver threads across the windows. Evelyn sits stiffly, hands clasped on her lap, eyes darting between the rearview mirror and the sleeping child. The silence feels deliberate, almost sacred. Adrian Cole drives without a word, his calm posture at odds with the tension that fills the space. Evelyn finally whispers, "Is she your daughter?" He nods once. "Mia?" The name lands softly, but with weight. Evelyn glances back. The girl's small fingers curl around the stuffed bunny. Outside, the world blurs into streaks of wet light. Inside, something unfamiliar stirs. Empathy, breaking through pride. Minutes stretch like hours. The soft rhythm of rain muffles the sound of Evelyn's heartbeat. She watches Mia breathe, the oxygen tube whispering life into her fragile frame. "She's beautiful," Evelyn says. Adrian glances at her reflection in the glass. His voice is low, almost hesitant. She takes after her mother. The name he doesn't say fills the air. The weight of grief lingers between them like unspoken smoke. For the first time, Evelyn sees not a CEO, but a father trying not to break. Her defenses falter. The car feels smaller now, closer. Two strangers tied together by a child's quiet strength. A stoplight halts their journey. The car idles, and red light spills through the windshield like a wound. Adrian exhales deeply. the first sign of exhaustion breaking through composure. "You don't trust easily," he says quietly. He says quiet. Evelyn meets his gaze, surprised. "Neither do you." For the first time, he smiles. "A real one, not the practiced kind. That's fair." The light turns green, but neither moves for a moment. The world outside rushes past, yet in this car, time stands still. The rain, the silence, the confession. They're no longer just passengers. Something has shifted. The drive continues past the city edge. Buildings give way to empty roads, lined with trees whispering under rainfall. Adrian's voice breaks the silence. "You defended the janitor yesterday. No one else did." Evelyn stiffens, surprised he noticed. "It wasn't courage," she murmurs. "Just fairness." He nods, eyes on the road. "My wife used to say that too." Her breath catches. The revelation lands softly but cuts deep. She looks back at the sleeping child again and realizes kindness, like pain, hides best behind silence. The car finally stops before a hospital bathed in sterile white light. Evelyn's chest tightens as she realizes the truth. This wasn't just a drive. It was a ritual. Adrian steps out silently, opens the back door, and lifts Maya gently into his arms. The CEO she once saw as untouchable now stands soaked in rain, cradling fragility itself. Evelyn watches as the hospital doors slide open, light swallowing them whole. Her pride dissolves into something pure, understanding. She whispers to herself, "I was wrong about him." The storm outside eases, but inside her, something new begins. The hospital corridor smells of antiseptic and quiet heartbreak. Evelyn lingers near the entrance, unsure if she should follow. Through glass doors, she sees Adrian speaking softly to a nurse, his shoulders bent under invisible weight. He moves with precision, yet his eyes betray exhaustion. She steps closer, uncertain why she can't walk away. Maybe it's the image of him. This man who commands boardrooms, now standing as a father desperate to protect what little he has left. She takes a slow breath, the rain on her clothes cooling against her skin. The truth isn't what she thought. It's gentler, heavier, and painfully human. Evelyn waits in the hallway, eyes tracing every quiet detail. The hum of machines, the rhythm of a child's breathing behind the curtain. She hears Adrian's voice, soft, trembling, filled with something she's never heard in him before, hope laced with fear. "She's been strong," he says to the doctor. "Stronger than I've ever been." The words linger in the sterile air. Evelyn realizes the man she thought was distant isn't cold at all. He's terrified. And for the first time, she sees that vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the deepest form of love. Hours pass. Evelyn sits in the waiting room, rainwater drying on her shoes. When Adrian returns, his face looks older, lines carved deeper by worry. "You didn't have to stay," he says. She shrugs, smiling faintly. "I couldn't leave." He studies her like she's an unfamiliar equation, one that doesn't need solving, only understanding. "You remind me of her," he murmurs. "My wife." The words hang between them, trembling. For the first time, Evelyn feels seen. Not as an employee, not as a stranger, but as someone who somehow matters. And that realization terrifies her more than anything. Later, Adrian leads Evelyn into the room. Mia is awake now, her small fingers clutching the stuffed bunny, a faint smile blooming as she sees her father. "Daddy, is she your friend?" she asks. Adrian looks at Evelyn, hesitant, then nods. "Yes, sweetheart. She's my friend." The child's innocent question slices through years of emotional distance. Evelyn kneels beside the bed, smiling softly. "You're very brave, Mia." The little girl giggles faintly. In that moment, the world narrows to three people. Broken, mending, and unknowingly saving one another. As evening falls, Adrian steps out to take a call. Evelyn stays beside Mia, reading softly from a picture book. The child listens, sleepy-eyed but peaceful. "Do you like stories?" Evelyn whispers. Mia nods. "Only the ones where people don't give up." Evelyn smiles, a lump forming in her throat. Through the doorway, Adrian watches silently. Something unspoken flickering in his expression. He realizes what Evelyn has unknowingly done. She's given his daughter calm and him hope. For the first time in years, he feels less like a CEO and more like a father. The next morning, sunlight filters through pale hospital curtains. Evelyn stands near the window, the world outside still glistening with rain. Adrian sits at the edge of Mia's bed, softly humming an old tune. The room feels peaceful until he breaks the silence. "You know," he says quietly, "people warned me about trusting employees too easily." Evelyn glances at him, unsure where it's going. He continues, "But then I saw you defend that janitor. No hesitation, no audience, just courage." She blinks, startled. His eyes meet hers, calm, searching. "My wife used to say integrity doesn't need applause." The words strike deeper than he knows. Evelyn lowers her gaze, unsure how to respond. Compliments from him feel strange, like they belong to someone else. "I just did what anyone decent would," she says. Adrian shakes his head, faint smile tugging at his lips. "Decency's rare, Evelyn." The way he says her name feels unfamiliar, gentle, respectful. She looks toward Mia, pretending not to notice. "You're not what people say you are," she whispers. Adrian's expression darkens, eyes distant. "No," he says softly. "I'm worse. And better than they'll ever know." Silence follows, heavy yet alive. Beneath it lies something neither of them can name. Later that afternoon, Adrian walks Evelyn down the corridor. His voice drops to a whisper. "You lost your job last quarter, didn't you?" Her heart jumps. "How do you—" He stops her with a look. "You were written off unfairly." "The people who did it work for me now." She doesn't know whether to feel exposed or vindicated. "You couldn't have said something sooner." He smiles faintly. "Would you have listened?" She laughs softly, shaking her head. "Probably not." For the first time, they share something pure, honesty without armor. They stop near the hospital exit. "You could have fired them," Evelyn says. "The ones who caused it." Adrian exhales, gaze lowering. "And become the man everyone already thinks I am." The honesty catches her off guard. His vulnerability feels like confession disguised as restraint. "Sometimes," he continues, "forgiveness hurts more than revenge." Evelyn studies him. The CEO she once labeled heartless, now stripped of illusion. "Maybe that's what makes it real," she says quietly. He looks up, eyes meeting hers for a heartbeat that feels eternal. The world outside blurs. Everything slows. Before she leaves, Adrian says her name again, softer this time. "Evelyn," she turns. "I wasn't offering you a ride yesterday," he says. "I was asking for help." The words stop her breath. His tone isn't proud or pleading, it's human. "Mia needs more than medicine," he adds quietly. "She needs presence, warmth, something I can't give her alone." Evelyn's throat tightens. She doesn't answer, just nods faint. As she walks toward the exit, she realizes she's not running away from him anymore, but towards something she doesn't yet understand. Days pass before Evelyn returns to the hospital. She tells herself it's to deliver flowers, but her heart knows better. When she steps into the room, Mia's laughter fills the space, soft and melodic. Adrian looks up from a stack of paperwork, surprise flickering into a smile. "You came back?" Evelyn shrugs, placing the flowers on the bedside table. "Someone needed to brighten this place." Mia giggles, reaching for her. "Daddy says I'm getting stronger." Evelyn kneels beside the bed, her voice tender. "He's right. For the first time, the air feels light. like hope remembered. Evelyn begins visiting often, reading stories, drawing, sometimes just sitting in silence. Mia starts to paint again. Flowers, stars, her father's face. One afternoon, she paints Evelyn, too. "You look like sunshine," the little girl says. Evelyn laughs, but tears burn behind her smile. Adrian watches them, heart aching in unfamiliar ways. The sterile hospital world begins to feel like a home he never expected. For the first time since his wife's death, laughter doesn't sound wrong. It sounds like healing. Evenings bring quiet rituals. Evelyn reads aloud, while Adrian listens from the corner, arms crossed pretending to work. Sometimes Mia interrupts with questions too big for her age. About angels, about her mom, about what happens when people stop being sad. Adrian never knows what to say. But Evelyn always does. "They start to remember love more than loss," she answers one night. Adrian looks at her, words trapped behind emotion. The truth is simple but vast. He's remembering love too, and it terrifies him. Days turn into weeks. Evelyn helps Adrian manage schedules, meals, even smiles. She becomes part of their rhythm. One afternoon, Mia sketches 3 stick figures holding hands under a sun. "That's us," she declares proudly. Evelyn laughs, but Adrian stays silent, staring at the paper too long. When Mia dozes off later, he murmurs, "She's drawing a life she wants back." Evelyn looks at him softly. Maybe she's drawing the one she's finding now. His expression falters, half gratitude, half fear. He's learning to hope again, and it's both beautiful and terrifying. Night descends and the ward grows silent. Adrian walks Evelyn to the elevator. For a moment, neither speaks. Then, softly, he says, "You changed the way my daughter smiles." She smiles faintly. "She changed me first." The doors open, fluorescent light spilling between them. "Will you come tomorrow?" he asks, almost afraid of her answer. She nods. "I'll bring coffee." As the doors close, their reflections linger. 2 people who started as strangers, now orbiting the same fragile light. Outside, the rain returns, but it feels different now, cleansing, not cold. The rain returns after weeks of sunlight, fierce and relentless. Evelyn hurries into the hospital with 2 coffees in hand, laughter still warm from her morning call with Adrian. But when she reaches Maya's room, everything stops. The bed is empty. Monitors beep in alarm. A nurse rushes past, shouting for assistance. Panic crashes through her chest. "Where's Mia?" she cries. Down the hall, she sees Adrian running, shirt untucked, face pale. Their eyes lock for one terrible instant. Something's gone wrong. The calm they built shatters under the storm's roar. Time fractures into fragments. Evelyn finds herself outside the operating room, soaked, trembling. Adrian stands beside her, motionless. The sound of rain on the windows feels louder than the machines inside. "It's her heart," he whispers, voice hollow. They said it might fail again. Evelyn reaches out, her hand trembling before finding his. For a long moment, they don't speak. The thunder outside rumbles like a mirror of everything breaking within them. She closes her eyes, whispering a silent prayer. Not for miracles, but for strength to face the truth if it comes. Hours blur. The rain turns to wind. Night falls heavy. Evelyn refuses to leave the hallway, her body aching, but her will unshaken. Adrian sits slumped beside her, face buried in his hands. "I can't lose her too," he murmurs. She looks at him, the man who once seemed made of stone, and sees nothing but a father stripped bare. Without hesitation, she pulls him close. He doesn't resist. For the first time, his composure collapses completely. They sit like that, 2 souls clinging to the edge of heartbreak, while thunder rolls like an elegy outside. Then, silence. The beeping stops. The door opens. A doctor steps out, face unreadable. Adrian rises too fast, nearly stumbling. "Please," he whispers. For now, the words break him. Stable. For now, the words break him. His knees give way, and Evelyn catches him, both collapsing into disbelief and relief. For the first time in hours, he smiles. A broken, trembling smile. "She's still here," he murmurs, voice cracking. Evelyn's tears spill freely now. Outside, the storm begins to ease, thunder rolling into distance like a sigh of mercy. Later, Evelyn walks to Mia's bedside. The little girl stirs, eyes fluttering open. "Did I sleep long?" she asks weakly. Evelyn smiles through tears, "Just long enough to scare us." Adrian stands behind them, watching, his face soft, unguarded. "Daddy cried," Mia whispers. He laughs quietly. "Maybe I did." Evelyn brushes a strand of hair from Mia's cheek, her hand trembling. "You're safe now." Outside, dawn breaks faintly through storm clouds. The light feels like forgiveness, gentle and earned. Weeks later, the hospital room feels brighter. Balloons sway near the window and sunlight dances across the sheets. Mia's laughter fills the air, light and endless. Evelyn stands by the door, watching as Adrian ties her daughter's shoes with uncharacteristic gentleness. The man once buried under power and pain now looks human. "You free to go." The nurse smiles. Evelyn feels a twist in her chest, joy mixed with something bittersweet. She realizes she'll miss this place these mornings, the way they became a small, strange family built from brokenness. The drive home begins in silence. The same car that once carried tension and distance now hums with quiet peace. Evelyn sits in the back beside Mia, who hums a song under her breath. Adrian glances at them through the rearview mirror, a faint smile tugging at his lips. "Feels different this time," Evelyn says softly. "It's the same road," he replies. She shakes her head. "No, it's not." He looks at her reflection in the glass. This woman who turned storms into healing. And for the first time, he believes in second chances. They stop at a small park halfway home. Mia insists on feeding the birds. Adrian sits on a bench, watching his daughter run, her laughter echoing through the open air. Evelyn joins him quietly. "You were right," she says. "About what?" he asks. "Forgiveness. It hurts, but it heals too." He looks at her, the wind tugging at his hair. "You taught me that." Their eyes meet, not with tension, but peace. For once, neither needs to fill the silence. It speaks for them. As the sun dips, Adrian drives Evelyn home. They stop before her apartment, the same spot where everything began. The air is golden, and for a moment, neither moves. "Funny," Evelyn says softly. "You offered me a ride once, and I refused." Adrian's voice lowers. "And now?" She smiles faintly. "Now I'd go anywhere, if it means I don't have to ride alone." He looks at her, quiet understanding in his eyes. This isn't a confession. It's something stronger, a shared promise, built in silence. Evelyn steps out, turning back once more. Adrian rolls down the window. "You'll visit tomorrow?" he asks. She smiles. "Count on it." As she walks away, he watches through the mirror, her silhouette framed in the fading sun. In the back seat, Mia stirs. "Daddy," she murmurs. She makes the world sound nicer. Adrian smiles softly. She makes it real. The car rolls forward, sunlight spilling across the windshield. For the first time in years, his heart feels light. The storm is over. The ride at last has led them home.